Hello and welcome to another daily market reading. We're on Bitcoin. I'm on the 8-hour time frame, and let's look at where I think Bitcoin is going to go and what information we can take away from Bitcoin today and Ethereum as well later on. First things first, this is what we saw in yesterday's video. This is where I'm looking for a short position. Price-wise, we haven't had much of a change. We've had a slight move up, nothing crazy from yesterday, so the analysis still remains the same. So this is just a really quick recap lesson if you have not seen the previous one. So what is happening? Why do I say this is the ideal short position? Let's go on the 2-hourly time frame and then we can see. Okay, this was once a resistance which we couldn't break until we broke it, and it turned into a support which we broke. Okay, we haven't really had a retest yet. Okay, now the whole of last week we were inside this channel during the weekend and then this bigger channel during the week. Okay, where the whole week we did not move, we did nothing. What happens during sideways channels when the price is going sideways like this? You've got liquidity created there and you've got liquidity created there from people going long and placing their stop loss just below the recent low, and people going short placing their stop loss just above the recent high. Okay, so that's what happened, and price of Bitcoin has gone and grabbed this recent liquidity that was created there. Okay, this moved down, grabbed a bunch of liquidity. Now, what have we got pending? All of this stuff there, all of this stuff there, which we haven't cleared yet. Okay, and in my personal point of view, it would make sense for us to go clear that. Okay, so that's one of the reasons why I think now we could be getting a move up. I don't think you should go long now exactly from where we are. I'm actually going to give you a different point of view. I think we should I'm actually going to go short potentially. One of the other things, and another reason why this is going to be my ideal short position, is because if I trace a Fibonacci retracement, okay, from this whole impulsive phase down, the 0.618 level lands very, very, very nicely inside the start of this area. Okay, so that's basically one more reason why this is an ideal short position. Next, we have got on the CME futures on Bitcoin, we have got a gap that starts where? A gap that starts at 78,300 and finishes at 79,200. What does that look like? This looks like something like this. 78,300, which is around here, and it finishes at 72,200, which is around there. Okay, so this is where our CME futures gap lies. Yes, it lands exactly inside the golden pocket at the start of our ideal short position, and very conveniently just above all of these recent levels, which would mean we would be going up and grabbing a little bit of money, grabbing some liquidity, which is, is how the price of Bitcoin and cryptos move. They move to go grab liquidity, especially Bitcoin. It makes sense for Bitcoin now that it's liquidated all of these long positions. It could get a move to go liquidate all of these short positions. Now, you might think, okay, that's it, there's nothing more. No, believe it or not, there's even more stuff. I'm now going to turn on our indicators, the smart trend specifically. First off, these indicators, you can get them for free. And if you don't know what they are, how you use them, I've already made a tutorial on all of these, how they work, why they work, and all of those things. But just a really quick one, this just tells you what the trend is. It's purple, which means I should be looking for short positions, not longs. Another thing I can see, as you can see there, is strong FVGs. Is going to tell me multi-time frame fair value gaps. We have got a 4-hour fair value gap exactly on the 0.618 level, exactly in the place that I'm saying is an ideal short position. Now, is that it? No, it's not. We've also got an 8-hour gap there. Not just a 2-hour gap, not just a 4-hour gap, we've got an 8-hour gap just there. And then, if that wasn't enough, we have got another gap, another 8-hour gap, which is this red rectangle that you can see there above it as well, which is still fitting very nicely within our ideal short area. So as you can see, between 80 and 79,000, these are not random levels. It's not just me guessing, closing my eyes and then say, look, I think the price of Bitcoin is going to go there. No, there's a reasoning to it. Now, could I be wrong? The price of Bitcoin just shoots up, potentially, okay? If we, and that's a big if we start closing candles above 81 or even 80, that's a whole different scenario. That's a whole different thing, okay? Until then, my personal point of view on Bitcoin and on crypto in general is not the most bullish. I am going to be looking for short positions at any move back up that we get. I think I'm not forgetting we are in a bear market. We're not in a bull market, we're in a bear market. I think, yes, we had a bit of a rally up, a really extended rally, okay? We were going up for a very long time. We were pushing up in Bitcoin and in crypto for a very long time. This is not forever. We are in a bear market. This is just a healthy price correction, okay? I think a little move up would also be somewhat healthy, okay? Because, you know, Bitcoin has face planted a whopping 10% on Bitcoin. That's quite a lot, with barely any moves up. We haven't made a correction in price, we've made a correction in time, okay? Because if you didn't know, assets either make a correction in price or they make a correction in time, where they waste time, okay? Next, could we get potentially a move right now? I'm gonna now turn on our smart oscillator, and we're going to be able to see how we are actually forming a divergence, an RSI divergence, just a regular one on the 1 hourly time frame. What does that mean? The smart trend on the 1 hourly time frame is purple, which means I need to look for short, not long positions. I'm making higher highs on the price. I'm also making lower highs on the RSI. That's not a money flow divergence, which is these ones that we get given by our smart oscillator. This is just a regular good old RSI divergence. Could we try it? Why not? Okay, we are basically on the 0.5 level. It is a bit risky because of what I just said. I would be waiting for a bit more of a push up. This is where I want my short position, but with proper risk management, I think I might. Why not? I might just try it. Okay, that's Bitcoin. Now let's move on to Ethereum. Let's see what Ethereum has been doing today. Let's move on. Let's start on the 8-hour time frame. We've got a really similar reading. Actually, what's quite funny is that on Ethereum, the smart trend did not change once. So on Bitcoin, the smart trend went to green. Okay, when we had this run up. On Ethereum, it stayed purple the whole entire time, basically telling us any test to the smart trend was a good place for us to go short. Okay, and actually I'm just seeing now how on the 8-hour time frame we got a really nice divergence, which looks like it's working out. So very similar reading to Bitcoin. I'm gonna go maybe on the 2-hour time frame. It's easier to see. During last weekend, we had this little thing created, bit of liquidity on there, and then exactly the same thing. We were fully sideways, not going anywhere. We've created some liquidity here and down here, which we have grabbed with this move down, and then now we are recuperating, which means my next target, exactly the same as Bitcoin, is going to be grabbing this liquidity here. Okay? That's basically the exact same thing. Let me just show you as well what a bit of a bigger target I've got for Ethereum. Maybe on the 4-hourly we can see a bit better. Nope. I don't know what's going on. Okay, there we go. We have got these levels here. Okay, maybe if I move that down a little bit, something like this. There we go. Which we haven't tested. So When Ethereum was around this area, and if you don't believe me, I strongly suggest you go and have a look at my previous videos. When Ethereum was around this area, this was a really good proxy for me. This was a channel that I was using. We've broken this channel, sure. We haven't done a retest. Okay, we have not done a retest, which is not something very common. So we have face planted as well. We've gone down a lot. It would be healthy for the price to get a bit of a correction back up. That's my point of view. Okay, if we trace a Fibonacci retracement, we can see a very similar thing. We have got a 4-hour fair value gap sitting just above the 0.5 level, and then also just a bit higher we have got the retest of this channel, which is also sitting on the 0.618 level and with another fair value gap. That's why I'm saying maybe not tonight, maybe not in the next few hours, but I reckon we could be getting a bit of a push up. Now Ethereum is going to be doing a really similar thing to Bitcoin. If Bitcoin goes up to 79,500 for example, it is likely that Ethereum is going to follow on and go a little bit higher. Okay, but exactly the same thing. I'm looking for short positions. I'm not going to be looking for longs. I'm going to be looking for short positions. Very similar thing as well on the CME futures. We can see we have got a gap between 2219 and 2186. Let's go trace that on there. 2219, which is there, and 2286, which is there. So we have got a CME futures gap right there. Would it make sense for us on Ethereum to get a slight deviation up? Maybe even if we're lucky, fill this CME gap and then get a rejection back down. Yes, in my point of view, that's what makes sense. Okay, that's what I'm going to be trading as. That's where I'm going to be putting my money. That's my market reading using our indicators. Okay, let's have a really quick look at USDT, see what USDT dominance is doing, what we can see, what we can read. Okay, we can see quite an interesting thing here, okay, which is the smart trend on USDT is green. Now, is that good or bad for crypto? Well, if USDT goes up, the price of crypto goes down. Okay, it's like vice versa. If it's green, it means that any pullback that we get is going to be a good place for us to go long. Okay, so which means that, let me trace a really quick Fibonacci retracement. On the 8-hourly, we're nearly oversold, nearly. We have got a 4-hour and an 8-hour gap sitting exactly on the 0.5 level. Basically a very small deviation from this gray line. What is this gray line? The gray line is an exponential moving average of 50 timeframes. So, which means that we could come crashing down a little bit more, which means that price of Bitcoin and crypto could go up a little bit more, and then we could, in theory, get a move up. Okay, now if this level is not respected, cool, fine. One just below it is going to be this one, where we have an 8-hour gap. We've got the 0.618 level, and also the smart trend is going to be following along very, very closely. What would this mean for Bitcoin and for crypto? If this first level is not respected and we just lose it, that would mean crypto could push a little bit higher. Okay, but look, this is just one more reason why I keep on thinking Bitcoin and crypto is not going to keep on going higher, higher, higher. No, this smart trend is still green. Green means this is going up. If USDT is going up, it means the price of crypto is crashing down. We do get some healthy corrections in price, but I do think Bitcoin has seen its ceiling, has seen its high, and it is now time to get a nice healthy pullback for us to get a nice entry on short. Okay, that's my readings on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and USDT really briefly. Thank you very much for watching. Make sure you smash the like button and also subscribe. And I'll see you tomorrow for another daily market reading. Have a nice day.